in this next video, we're going to be covering the straight tapered dart, your most basic type of dart. So first of all, you guys want to turn to page 130 in your book and read pages 130 and 131 to learn a little bit more about darts. As we can see, a dart is the take-up of excess fabric of various widths at the edge of a garment converging to a diminishing point. So basically what that means, you can see examples of a shoulder dart here, a waistline dart, in a bodice and in a skirt as well. Darts can also be used at the elbows and sleeves. Bust darts are very popular. And sometimes you'll see multiple waistline darts as well, like in this photo here. All right, so to explain that a little bit more, basically darts are just used to help shape our garment so that it fits the body. You can easily get any kind of stretch fabric to fit the body. If you think about a pair of leggings, they just fit your legs automatically because of the elastic, and they're able to shape around the body easily. But if you have a woven material like denim, that's not going to be the case. Same thing with like a pair of trousers or work pants made out of like a wool material. So if we take the body and we're trying to, let's say, that's the waistline, you have a belly button, your inseam is here. We want to take fabric and have it taper into the waistline. So it's not going to naturally do that. So you have your pants. These are your pant legs, your inseam. But you'll notice we need this fabric to form to the body. So what we do is we add a dart there, and with that dart, we fold that fabric, and all of a sudden, instead of having the material off the body, it's shaped to the body with that intake here. And then darts are going to vary in size. So if the fabric, if you don't have a big change, like if you have a figure that's more straight up and down, you'll have a small dart at the waistline. But if you have a figure that's extremely hourglass, you have to take in more of that fabric. So that dart would be a lot larger to account for all of that excess fabric that's being taken in, tapered to that diminishing point at the widest part, which for here would be the hip. Sometimes that'll be the apex at the bust. All right. So in terms of the anatomy of our dart, this is what your dart's gonna look like. You have two dart legs. This is where we're taking the fabric in from. Your center line, which is where we'll see like the dart seam actually being. Our dart point, which is where the dart comes to an end. And then our wide end, which represents all that fabric we're taking in at the widest part of the dart. So you guys are gonna go ahead and cut out one straight tapered dart. You might as well cut out the fisheye dart while you're at it. And you want to make sure when you cut out your fabric that you get this little point at the wide end of the dart. Also, make sure when you're cutting your fabric that you have this grain line parallel with the lengthwise grain of the fabric, so parallel with the selvage but not including the selvage in your pattern piece. If anyone's having trouble grasping that, please talk to me during office hours and I can spend extra time going over cutting fabric. But for now, we want to cut one of these so that, as you can see, you have that point included in your pattern piece. Okay, so once you have your pattern piece cut out, we need to transfer our dart markings to the pattern piece. If we were doing this on an actual garment on the final fabric, we could use, I can't find it, but your temporary chalk that looks like this. But for the sake of learning, we're just gonna use a pencil so that it's easiest and you guys can see what I'm doing. So the easiest way to transfer this marking is going to be, well, you could use your tracing paper and tracing wheel, but I like to just go ahead and use my pencil. So all you're going to do is mark your dart legs with a little pencil line at the wide end of your dart, and then in order to accurately mark our dart point, I just want you to take one of your pins and stick it through the dart point, lift up that pattern piece, and then with your pencil mark that dart point. So now we can go ahead and take our clear plastic ruler and we're just going to connect the dart point, drawing in our dart legs, connecting to those end markings we made. Again, normally I wouldn't use pencil on a garment, but for our practice muslin, this is perfectly fine. Okay, so the next step is to fold this in half. I find it easiest, in order to fold it as accurately as possible, I like to just measure between those dart legs. So if I measure between them, the total width is 1.25 inches. So I want to mark at 5/8, which is half of that width. And now I'm just going to connect my halfway point to the dart point, drawing in that center line. And now I can take this to the iron, and I want to match up my dart legs when I fold it and fold right on that center line I drew. And I'm going to iron my pattern piece in half so that we can sew that dart.